Well, actually, I guess I would have at least the one that was half charged with me, because I have to pull it out of the weapon.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Alright. So then, I guess we go back to... well, actually, do you guys mind if we go by the cyborg tent? Or do you guys want to go back to Piff and I'll go check out the cyborg tent or whatever? Like, I know we don't have the money right now, but I'd like to see what they're all about and what they have. And...
Sure.
I am not interested in any cyborg-type things at all.
It's called Cyberworks, not Cyborg.
I'm not interested in any kind of cybernetics.
Okay.
I will go and check up on Patrick.
Okay.
Yes, Mila will take along. Take it along.
With who?
With Val?
Yeah. Yes, with this guy. I should probably specify who she's tagging along with.
She's just tagging along.
She's tagging along. Yeah.
and Mila goes off and chases some butterflies because she's tagging along. All right. No, with Al, you're going with Al to check out Cyberworks Incorporated.
Yeah. She'll keep me company.
All right.
Okay. So, Patrick, you meet up. Tom meets up with Patrick, and in the meantime, Al and Mila head towards that large tent, and they are soon welcomed by a humanoid man. This is clearly a DB, another dimensional being or a spawn of a DB, because he looks mostly human. However, he has very large ears. They're human ears, but they're like 3 times the size of a regular person's ears. And his eyes resemble that of an owl's. They're very big and round and, yellow and white. But he's a friendly enough fellow. He goes, welcome to the Cyberworks tent here, folks. Are you familiar with our brand? He asks.
No, I'm afraid I'm not.
Cyberworks is the premier in robots, in both power-armored robot vehicles, but more specifically, artificial intelligence. Would you like me to tell you more?
Sure.
Mila kind of pulls on Elle's coat and she's like, I got robots. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
Wait,
the guy with his... Sorry, go ahead.
You have robots?
Yeah, remember the little ones in the box?
Oh, right. Yes, you do. And no, he doesn't.
You got Charlie, you got Jerry, you got Benjamin, you got Franklin, and you got Timothy.
Let's not be rude. Let's let him feel important.
Okay.
Yes, please.
He looks at you like he heard everything you two said.
Big ol' ears and mustache.
Yeah, he has big ears. He has big ears. So, describing the actual tent, like I said, it's just a simple fabric tent. But inside the actual tent proper is a metallic desk that he looks like he's obviously he sits behind. And off into one corner of the tent is a metal suit of armor that has wings attached to it. And he points to it and he goes, well, I do have this Flying Titan we do call for sale. But I have to tell you, our specialty is in special order items. And he goes over to his desk and he has a computer upon it and he turns it around and it says, not only can I arrange for you to purchase one of our large vehicle robots of our Titan series. You might have seen one around here. I've given a few as a gift to Finger, as they call him here, but Mr. Perrin. But what we really specialize in, and what I'm really excited to tell you about today, is artificial intelligence and robotics. Very sophisticated programming, much more sophisticated than the little medical robots that you might use, ma'am. These are robotic companions. Quick, name an animal. Any animal up there.
A cat. He wasn't talking about Charlie. And then I wink at the guy.
Oh no, Charlie's perfectly fine, he says. No offense to Charlie. I'm sure he's a fantastic little robot.
He is.
There you go.
A cat.
A cat. Ah, very, very nice. We can provide to you, and he kind of types a little bit on his keyboard and kind of shows you the outline of this cat. I can special order for you, sir, a feline of your choosing, of your size, with enhanced optics, with very quiet stealth capabilities. Heck, I could even make it look like a real cat. It doesn't have to look metallic like a standard robot as you might think. I could give it synthetic flesh and fur, and when it was roaming around, perhaps collecting data, perhaps in an internal recorder, let's just say, it would be able to um, track that data without any sort of problems. People would know it was a robotic cat or a real cat.
Wait, Mila,
In addition,
Mila. What about a squirrel?
Oh, a squirrel.
we can go as small as a tarantula, sir.
Oh,
Of course.
No.
No.
A squirrel.
As far as the
Wow.
size.
A squirrel.
A squirrel?
Yeah.
Yes, certainly we can do a grounds.
And how much would something like that be?
Or heck, give it some
Uh-oh.
plasma pistol weapon on the back of it. The world is customized robotics is at your fingertips right here, and the only limitation is your wallet.
How much would something like a squirrel, the basic model, the one that has the enhanced optics, the ability to do what I tell it to, maybe not the plasma pistol on its back, how much were we talking about here?
Now, are you looking for something that has enhanced intelligence, or pretty much the intelligence of a squirrel that you could just train yourself?
Why don't you give me both?
Okay. He brings things up here on his computer real quick. And he has a few more questions for you real quick, just so he can really specify a price. And he's looking on his computer, very similar to what the GM is doing right now, opening up his source book. Just so it's very sophisticated.
So I guess while you're doing that, I could
Now
say
he's going to the robots section. Yeah, sorry.
the ability to be able to whatever he sees or hears or whatever he hears can be transmitted to an audio jack of some sort.
Oh, most
like that.
certainly, sir. We can easily do that.
And at least
Okay.
intelligent enough that it can understand speech and commands and things like that, and know who's friends and who can order it around. Like the ability to be able to say, you follow any orders given by this, and this person, but no one else, that kind of thing.
Okay, yeah. So a discrete intelligence,
Mm-hmm.
so to speak. Okay, yeah. Definitely. As I look in my index real quick, as he tries to find.
What would we name it?
What would you want to name him?
Jackie?
I like Jackie.
Now, would you want this thing to have any additional skills, perhaps? Or, for example, do you want to just be able to do what a squirrel does, which is climb and maybe be a little stealthy? Or do you want it to also work as like a portable translator for you?
No, just a squirrel personality, but able to climb and observe and
nuts.
sneak, and yes.
That too.
Okay.
Mostly the nuts thing, though. That's important.
Okay, all right. Let's see here. Give me 2 seconds. Of course, you just want 2 legs, of course, forced locomotion.
Well,
You don't want it to hover around?
no. As
Oh,
much
that-
like a squirrel as possible.
Okay. As much now, do you want it to look like a squirrel as well?
Well, yes, of course.
Like
Bless it.
fake synthetic skins? Okay.
And
All
fur.
right, well, that will.
Yes.
And fur, of course.
Yeah, you don't
Even
want to
little
make it
teeth?
squirrel.
Now, did you want to have any weapon systems on it?
Whoa. What kind?
Well, we could create its little claws could be vibro blades, perhaps.
That's not interesting.
No.
Oh, okay.
I
Well, you
don't
want
think
interesting? I can give you interesting. How about a concealed laser rod that can shoot out from its back?
Wow, now that's what I'm talking about.
Heck, I could even make it that its little tail could come out in segments, and those little parts of its segments could be explosives.
Oh.
I know.
Let's see the
What do you
base
think, Al?
cost first, without weapons.
Okay. All right. So if I get this correct, you want yourself a squirrel-sized robot with basic trained discrete animal intelligence that has synthetic fur and features, that has a recording device, a way to transmit audio to a radio wave, and has enhanced optic systems. Am I missing anything?
Can you give it a personality? Is that a possibility?
Yes, that could be a part of its
In other words, like
intelligence.
show basic affection or loyalty towards a person or thing.
Oh, yes. Oh, most certainly. Most certainly. Yeah, I can definitely do that at no additional charge.
Something like that,
So
yeah.
it would cost you 1.2 million credits.
Oh.
I see.
Now, I understand that not everyone has that amount of money ahead of time. And, of course, it would take some time for us to actually manufacture and ship it to you.
That is
But
such
what
a
I can't-
ripoff.
Mila?
Excuse me,
Sir.
ma'am?
Mila?
Who on earth could afford? Al.
Mila?
Mm,
Mila?
mm,
Mila?
mm,
Calm
mm.
yourself.
I am calm. I just really want
It's-
to squirrel.
I understand. You really want a squirrel. I get it. I'm sorry, sir. She's not very familiar with robotics.
I understand. It is very sophisticated.
Just sticks her tongue out at
like
him.
pulls her eye down and sticks her tongue out.
Did I
Bleh.
mention that this robotic squirrel would have a 10-year nuclear power supply? That itself is amazing.
What are your
But
options?
for the
You were saying that...
Our Yeah, we have financial options, of course. We can arrange a sort of payment plan. We can arrange an exchange of goods and services, perhaps. Take on a job as a part to pay off the debt as well. We can obviously also just hold your robotics here until you come up with the money yourself. And if you choose for a payment plan, you don't have to necessarily just pay me. There are several CyberWorks merchants all across this fine continent that would be happy to take payment as well.
I think Al would stare at Mila for a while and then kind of sigh and go, what kind of jobs?
Oh, well, of course we have many caravans that require protection, so that themselves. Of course, CyberWorks is always interested in pre-rifts technology that we can utilize for our own designs. So if you were to able to find or acquire something very valuable, especially if it was in the realms of robotics or weapons, that could definitely be a very good exchange for that. In addition, he says, we like to keep things legal, but unfortunately, since we are the premier robotics manufacturer, we do have competitors, and some of those competitors play awfully dirty. So sometimes, if we can get information on those competitors, or if those competitors were to become less aggressive towards us, we could see that as definitely a service that would be worthwhile.
Mila, do you want a squirrel?
I do.
I'm going to sit down. All right. We want the squirrel. We don't have the money right now,
Okay.
but we'll work something out.
I think we can definitely work something out. We don't have to work it out right now, actually. What I can do is, since I'm still technically on the clock, what I can do is perhaps we can arrange a meeting, perhaps at the local pub. I think it's called like the Horn and Hornet. We can meet there tonight and kind of just it'll allow me to contact my superiors and see what my jobs might be available, if that's okay by you.
I would appreciate that. It would have to be later tonight. We have a dinner appointment with Finger, and as I'm sure you know, that is not exactly a man you keep waiting.
That is true. Finger certainly does like to go to the beat of his own drum, which explains why I'm out here.
Yes. But yes, later tonight I'd be more than happy, or tomorrow if that's not convenient for you.
Of course, yeah, no, whatever's convenient for you. I mean, that's more than fine. But tell you what, I'll draw up a preliminary invoice for this little robotic squirrel of yours.
Okay.
Yay.
All right, cool.
Out of curiosity, do you deal with
Yeah.
cybernetics at all?
We can. However, like I said, our premier interest is in robotics and something large. We do have contacts that do deal with in cybernetics. We won't say no to taking some for trade, but it isn't our main area. of
Well,
interest.
my more concern is, and I'll take off my sunglasses. I have, as you can see, a cybernetic eye comes in handy. Being a doctor, of course, allows me to do all sorts of things. I also have an audio jack. I've heard that there are upgrades you can get to where I would be able to, for example, if we're going to be getting a squirrel, be able to see what the squirrel sees.
Oh.
Oh, you're talking about a wireless transmission of audio-visual data?
I already can do audio, I just can't do visual.
Interesting. Yes, I think we could probably arrange that. I don't have the facilities to do that here, but if all goes well, I could definitely arrange a CyberDoc contact of ours up in Ipsheming to be able to help you out with that. I think we might be able to arrange something. It would take some time, but it could be done.
Okay, well, we'll talk more about it when we meet later.
Yeah,
That's right.
Definitely. Okay, so that's that conversation.
Yeah.
Patrick and Tom, are you guys still alive?
Yeah.
Patrick, did you push the button?
What button?
The button on the knife?
Button on that neural knife?
Oh. No, I have very much enough self-control not to press a button when somebody says, whatever you do, don't press a button. I'm not going to be like, well, this button's going to get pressed in like 2 seconds.
Lucky for everyone, I didn't paint them red.
You are demonstrating that high intelligence of yours. Good for you, Patrick.
Don't press
Yay.
the red button.
Obviously the tutorial with the salesperson goes very well. He makes sure he starts to like just listen to you as explain things, but about 5 minutes in, he kind of raises his hand for you to pause as he goes to get a notebook and he starts writing this shit down because there's no way he's gonna remember all this. So
Yeah.
that goes on without much, much problems whatsoever. Tom meets up with you probably a good half hour later by the time he gets to the checkpoints and gets the Eclipse charged and all that type of thing. But after that, is there any other particular place that Patrick or Tom would like to visit?
I'm
Um,
fine.
Okay.
Let's see. I would probably discuss with the store clerk if there's any particular like, since there's a lot of traders around this area, if there's any animosity towards each other.
He shakes his head. No, there isn't any animosity at all. And you know why? It's because Finger controls everything. He owns all these stores. He owns every single building that you see inside the thing. We're pretty much... I'll explain how I came into this. I came into this as an employee. He hired me. As for the boss man here, Jake Hawley, he started out as a salesperson working his own commission, and he paid a percentage to Finger to operate inside of his town. And over time, things got. In order for this store itself to grow, Finger would institute more loans and everything like that. And eventually, instead of paying off the loan, Finger offered a very high wage to Mr. Hawley to just simply sell the goods. He can work on commission, as do I do, and get a percentage of it. But pretty much Finger ended up owning the entire industry, I guess you could say, or this entire shop. He's a fair guy and he pays us extremely well, but we're all like go across the street to the Platinum uh sorry, as he stutters for a moment, the Platinum Touch. It's the same thing. Go to, the inn, the clinic. It's the whole same thing. Everyone here, we're very well paid people, but we're practically employees. Finger always gets his percentage. He says, with one exception.
Is it like the weapons store? He doesn't seem to like weapons here.
He's fine with weapons. He just doesn't want them getting fired off inside the wall. No point having a fantastic fantastic structure that can withstand missiles if people are going to just fire it inside. No, he's fine with weapons. I'm sure Finger cut his teeth with weapons. It's not that. It's that tent outside the fort. You might notice that it's operating outside and not inside.
Mm-hmm.
He says with a bit of a slip. Yeah, it's very new. This guy shows up as a representative for some company called Cyberworks. A lot of people have heard of it. People are really familiar with their robot vehicles, but no one really knows where they operate out of. Sources tell me that they operate somewhere out west. That's where their manufacturing place is, at least. But let's just say Cyberworks, this current merchant that works for him, they're in the beginning stages of a relationship with Finger. I don't really know the details, but I know this guy donated a few robots to Finger to allow him to operate in the area. But eventually, Finger's gonna be like, okay, he's gonna want to get his own percentage. He's gonna try to cut out the middleman. He's gonna do something so he's in control of what Cyberworks sells, and eventually that guy will be his employee. But right now, it's just a very beginning relationship. It's the honeymoon phase, I guess you could say.
I
But
see.
give it a couple years, and you'll find Cyberworks inside here, and that guy being in the same situation we are in.
So this usually happens, the outside tent and things like that?
Yeah. Of course, this place is only about 10 years old, so at a time, some of the buildings were already inside. But Finger pretty much built this place from the ground up, so he had an idea of what he wanted, and so he hired outside help. But most of the time, yeah, all new merchants, like, so for example, right? Wilkes, fantastic weapons manufacturers and really good with tools as well, right?
Sure.
Wilkes merchant came on by. He wanted to sell his wares. Finger didn't tell him to go away. He welcomed him. He goes, sure, of course. You have to understand, though, I don't have a shop for you inside. You'll have to set it up outside. So, sure enough, he sells his stuff outside, and then Finger gets to know the merchant, right? He asks him where he gets his supply from. He asks him how hard it is to get a license. Sure enough, now Finger has a license to sell Wilkes products as well. Now, he doesn't completely cut out the merchant, but what he does do is he finds a slightly more profitable area, say down south, or over north, or to the west, and he suggests to the merchant that maybe he'll find better success over there. He pays him a good wage as an exploration fee, and sure enough, the merchant finds out, he sets up shop over there, and Finger, now a licensed Wilkes provider, allows the Platinum Touch to sell Wilkes products. And now Finger's control is completely controlled of the caravans going in and out of Wilkes Manufacturing. It's a very simple way of him just taking control of the trade and just making every single credit he can. It's weird. It's strange. He says, Finger would be a very wealthy and very powerful man in any of the big cities around here. I don't know why he just set up this little trading post, because he could do some pretty crazy things. But what do I know? Maybe he has some master plan that I don't know about.
So, just to recap, the usual shops are basically the gun store, general store.
Yep.
Of course, there's the medical facility that might sell very particular, like chemicals, medicines, things like that.
Yep.
And I think I heard something about like a robotics place.
Yeah, that's Cyberworks outside. Yep.
What? Yeah.
Oh, but there's a cyber doc. Yeah, a traveling cyber doc. That's right. He deals in cybernetics. Yeah.
And is there any other ones?
Well, you also got your basic stuff, right? Your leather worker, your blacksmith, your carpenter. They sell some products, but it's mostly supplying the farmers, the hunters, and the herders that live and work outside the actual fort proper. So they mostly make tools and saddles and stuff like that.
Is there any like place? How do I put this? Do like very special orders that maybe not you guys particularly sell come by often?
Oh yes, Finger loves special orders, and he's still a tradesperson at heart, which I think might be one of the reasons why he's not in one of those bigger cities. He can kind of control everything here. If it comes to high tech, if it comes to hidden pre-risk artifacts, shit, Finger loves pre-risk stuff. Or if it's magic items, he's the guy to talk to, and he's the one who can deal with that, who wants to deal with that. See, most people don't know much about magic, so we don't know whether we're getting a good deal on it or not, but Finger likes a challenge, so if you got anything special like that, he's the guy to talk to.
All right. And I no, this was after the teachings and whatnot. If there's any other things like books or anything that you not like full books, but like anything that you need a bit of like text on that you need to understand a few particular phrases or words or anything like that, I can help you out a bit more. I think I'm still waiting for my friends to come back.
Sure. Actually, we just got a new crate load of these books by Erin Tarn called Traversing Our Modern World. It's a pretty good read. She's a good author, but she's referring to some geological things that I don't know how to pronounce properly. If you give me a hand with that, I'd be much obliged. A little information exchange, eh?
All right.
So you say, you tell them words like, I don't know, like Cucamonga. I don't know. It's just geographical locations or names of cities or whatnot that, how the things that you read the words but you never say them out loud, so you don't know if you're pronouncing them right. You parse through that a little bit to help them out.
All right.
Yeah.
And then I guess we come back?
Yeah, you guys come back, and if it's okay by you, do you mind if we stop at this point and we resume maybe just before the dinner with Perrin?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I would really like to.
Yeah, I was gonna say like before we stop, we should be like, okay, so yeah, we're getting a squirrel.
Jumping up and down.
Not
just any squirrel.
Wait, what?
Robo squirrel.
So we might need to
Possibilities.
take a job. Don't know. We'll look into it. But basically, we might have agreed to buy a robotic squirrel.